17, I say 18 degrees. It's been up as far as 20. I think it's going to level out about 18. Tuesday, August 30th. I'm really excited. I really am, because our next artist, our feature artist today that I did through the breakfast show, being Justin Kane, coming out of Nebraska. Believe me, he's right with us right after this. Galaxy. Now let me tell you about Justin Kane, because I met him last year when we did the montage at Christmas time, about the 10th of December, and of course introduced us by Brian Perry, coming out of Bristol Records. Love Brian, absolutely love Brian. And of course he had the Cowgirl Crazy song, and we've been playing it ever since, getting a huge response for that. Got to thank everybody that's joining us this morning, lunchtime actually, it's afternoon now, and a little later, we're getting there, we're getting in there, but everybody joining us on Facebook Live, thank you very much, and believe me, we'll have a chat as we go through this. Now, if you can't remember, well, you should remember Justin Kane's Cowgirl Crazy, because we play it so often, but just to refresh your memory, right here at Galaxy, here he is, Justin Kane.
Wow, listen to that rain.
Yeah, it is getting wet out there. We're in the middle of a storm, my friend.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah, no, it isn't actually. Last night in Auckland, the biggest city that we have here in New Zealand in the North Island, wind flips a 50-foot boat. It was a catamaran. Absolutely trashed the thing, but it was also blowing containers into the water as well. One poor person down in Tinley Street, which is not that far, but it is quite a way out of the container company itself, down the road, squashes on the car. Luckily though, we're okay, but it's just something you don't expect when you come out of a nightclub, get in your car and there you go.
Oh, kidding. You agree. Yeah. We've been dealing with some tornadoes around us, so.
Well, we just come in, new maps show massive wave of polar air hitting New Zealand right now. The freezing Arctic surge strikes the South Island today. Now, I went to university down the bottom of the South Island and learnt very quickly, damn cold, I'm getting out of here.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, so...
I'm pulling up no radar of your guys' stuff. I'm kind of curious what's going on down there.
Nice.
Wet.
Wet, yeah, it's wet where we are.
Well, what's better than, freezing to death or blazingly hot?
Well, we actually have our own biosphere here, because we're sort of like got mountain ranges all the way around us. So when the other parts of New Zealand are getting absolutely trashed, we get maybe quite a nice day.
Nice.
Yeah, we lucked out. Anyway, let's go live.
Hi Rory, hi David.
Rory.
Watch out,
right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 22 after 12 o'clock. 14 degrees. It's starting to drop. Maybe there's something in the air coming this way. Tuesday, August 13th. Yep, we've been getting some bad weather. And feel sorry for Auckland right now. They've been getting hammered through the night and, of course, through this morning into this afternoon. Oh, something happened then. That was quite sharp. We're joined, of course, live by the Way of Nebraska, going to meet up with Justin Kane at Cowgirl Crazy. We're going to talk about that very, very shortly. But a man that I can respect wholeheartedly, I really, really do. 9 years in the US Navy, and having done a couple of tours in active service as well, I really appreciate the efforts that this man has made, not only to his own country, but to the rest of the world, keeping the peace as much as laying possibly his life on the line to be able to do so. That's somebody I can respect straight away. Justin's dreams are to perform to servicemen around the world, or should say service staff around the world, being multi-gender these days, and maybe we can even get him to do that here in New Zealand. We'll have a chat about that as we go. So at the moment, I got to welcome along Justin Kane. Good evening over there.
Oh, good evening and, well, good morning or afternoon to you guys as well. Glad to be on.
It is an absolute pleasure to catch up with you again now, believe me. 10th of December was the last time we spoke. We did a Christmas show with a montage of our artists from around the world that we absolutely support. And, of course, we got to thank Brian Perry for introducing us to you, because we absolutely love Cowgirl Crazy. And, in fact, I got the T-shirt and hat as well.
Oh, yeah. Brian Perry, he's just such an amazing guy. He's so down to earth and genuinely nice. His wife is an Army veteran as well, and he's got veterans surrounded by him. So he's one of those people that I really enjoy working with, because his passion is as much for our veterans as mine is as well. So I appreciate all the support from him. I appreciate the support from you guys as well.
Well, it is an honour to be in your company. I'm very, very humbled to be in your company, especially for the release of all of this brand spanking new music that we've only just received over the last little while. And I've got to admit with you that we have been trying it out, been playing it, getting a consensus of how the people have been receiving it, and it's going down well everywhere we play. So we've added you to a number of our shows, including, of course, the 16 Hours of Country on Sunday, the Artist Show on a Monday. Of course, I've been playing you through the Breakfast Show as well. Just an absolute pleasure to be able to answer a lot of questions. Now, one of the questions that we do have for you, and we will talk about it very, very shortly, is how we can get hold of you. But first, let's refresh our listeners' memory about Cowgirl Crazy. How did you come to the lyrics of that?
Well, the lyrics of it is just wanted to tell a story about just women going out and being able to have fun. You know, a lot of times they go out there to get all the drama from guys not liking it. They can't go out and just let their hair down and just have a good time. So just wanted to tell a story about a woman who works very hard and tries very hard to just earn that money, but she wants to let her hair down and just go crazy. Doesn't want to have to worry about drama. She wants to go out with her friends, have a good time, and just let it all go. And that's kind of where it all came from. And the writer, Eric Durant's is writer, and he's also Tobacco Road Band singer for them. He just an amazing writer, got this song to me, and it's just something I fell in love with, because a lot of friends that I have are female, and they just always come to me about the drama they have, and it's just like, you know what, be you. Don't try to please everyone. Just go out, be you, and have fun. Yeah, and that's what this song is all about.
Absolutely. I can see them with their little red boots on a Friday night, getting a little bit of a boot on, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
yeah. Now, since leaving the Navy, you've completed several music shows, including Mega Star Awards at the Galaxy of Stars Talent Search. Now, tell us about that.
So what the Galaxy of Stars Talent Search is kind of a local to the state of Nebraska. It's Wynn Adams puts this on with a lot of her friends from her beauty contestant days, and they're trying to find talent throughout Nebraska and try to help get them noticed, because you know, a lot of our country artists you hear on the radio today, they're all from like Georgia, Florida, or Tennessee. So getting artists from the middle of the U.S. is really hard to find someone to get them. So Wynn puts on these talent searches to find the best of the best in Nebraska. She brings them down to Nashville and has them record some music and meet some of the Nashville people there, and she really works hard to kind of get those names out there. So competing in that for 8 years straight, I finally won it. I came in second 7 of the 8 years, and I finally won it on the 8th year. But there's some phenomenal musicians and singers out there, and this Galaxy of Stars competition just really helps bring those out in front of everybody.
You know, I fully understand that, but you know, I admire the keep on going attitude. Just finally you cracked it. I love that, and of course that got you down to the recording Danny Martin recording studio in Nashville, didn't it?
Yes.
You know.
Yes, yeah, Danny Martin's, and recorded 2 songs down there, Cowgirl Crazy and American Strong. It was my first time ever in Nashville, my first time in the studio, and it was quite the whirlwind. We went out for 3 days, and we did a lot of work in just 3 days.
You know, that's a damn good segue for here is Justin Kane, right here at Galaxy 107 FM and American Strong. Whew, it's hot.
Yeah, and you had the heater on before.
I did have the heater on.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
How you feeling there, my friend? You okay?
Doing good, doing good.
Nice, nice.
Hanging out. How you guys holding up?
Yeah, we're all elated here, but to be quite honest, we really, really are. So, what I'm going to ask you next is how, and this is a fan's request basically, is how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, do you respond? Because believe me, I feel that's where your database of fans come from these days.
I respond personally to everyone that reaches out on Facebook and Twitter and all that. My wife, at times, will help answer it if I'm driving or if I'm not able to. She actually will say, "What do you want to say?" I'll tell her over the phone, and then she will respond for me. But it's either myself or my wife.
Nice, nice. Well, I used to have a Barbara for that. Apparently, she's resigned at that job and gave it back to me.
Gotta make sure you can still do the typing thing.
Yeah, oh, believe me, I'm finding it harder and harder. My fingers are getting bigger, I'm sure, because the little digits are getting smaller.
They are. Like, I hit letters that aren't even close to what I'm trying to type for some reason.
Exactly. I'm sure. I'm sorry.
Sometimes I have an A and an F comes up for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you what. For many, many years, I've had a friend of mine just across the road say to me, "I've been replaced by a cell phone." I went, "Why's that?" And he goes, "Well, you know, I get into bed at night and all I get is grunts and groans out of the wife." And I went, "Yeah, but hold on. Many years before she got a phone, she used to get the same thing out of you when you were just when you were sitting in bed with a newspaper." Now you can both get together and ignore each other.
Well, it's like whenever I'm around my kids, they're 21 and 20 now, about to turn 22 and 21. Even now, all I see is the top of their heads because they're just doing this.
Exactly.
Staring at the phone.
Exactly.
Everybody gets so wrapped up in the smartphones they forget to actually know that there's people around them.
Yeah, exactly.
You just text them.
Well, you know, my concern is what's going to happen to conversation in the future.
Oh, just text everyone.
Will we forget to be able to talk to each other? We'll just text everybody.
Well, you already see it now. Like, they can't even handle conflicts very well because they don't know how to talk about it. They text it and they put it out on the internet, but they don't know how to handle it.
Exactly. That's so true. Yeah, so let's go live. Love the song. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 27 away from 1 o'clock, 16 degrees, kind of fluttering now, but we will settle down, don't worry. Tuesday, August 13th. I see the Stats New Zealand boss resigns, takes full responsibility over census botch-up. Put quite simply, we didn't make it easy enough for everybody to take part. Really? These days with the census, basically all you need is your name and yes, you were born. To be honest with you, how simple do you need it? Anyway, we are talking live, going all the way to Nebraska, and we're joined by Justin Kane, the man himself, singing, of course, American Strong right here at Galaxy. Now, Justin, I got to ask you, how do we get hold of you? The fans want to know. Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? But more importantly, do you respond?
Well, I'll answer the first one, last one there. I respond personally to every message that come across. If for some reason I don't respond, it is my wife, but she's responding because I'm either driving or unable to. But we usually try to respond within minutes of someone reaching out to us. And I like doing that because it's more personal and you know that I'm going to be real with you. And I appreciate any comments or suggestions or anything else like that. But I do have my own personal website, which is justinkane.us. There's also Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, a lot of social media outlets I'm out there on, and I'm too stupid to remember all of them. But those are the main ones that I know for sure that I'm out there on.
Nice. Now, at the same time, on your website, do you have a merch store?
Say that again?
Do you have a merch store on your website?
I do have a shop. I handle all the merchandise inventory through my home. So there are a few items still left out there. If people want to go, they just go to justinkane.us, check on the shop page, and there you can buy the hard copy of my CD. You can buy hats. You can buy shirts like I'm wearing now. And I even got some special dedication dog tags and a lot of other different things.
Nice, nice. Because believe me, you're going to be rich very, very shortly by the amount of people that are listening online right now. And of course, everybody that's watching on Facebook Live, thank you for joining us too, by the way, guys. And keep giving Barbara the questions. We will certainly get them to our production team, who will get them to me. Now, I got to ask you at the same time, being deployed twice to the Persian Gulf, what was that like?
Well, my first one, especially my first one, I grew up in western Nebraska. There's not a lot of people, and it's just pretty much
like Mayberry, if anybody knows what that is. Andy Griffith show back in the day. It's just very quiet. And my first deployment overseas, I was scared to death. I didn't know what to expect. But I made some of the best friends that I still know today, who are still serving today. So it really made it a lot easier that way. Luckily, during that tour, I never actually had to go on shore, but I remember taking part of one of the world's largest air strikes, which was the U.S., England, Australia, and a bunch of other allies that made a strike in Iraq. And I remember being part of that, which was nerve-wracking to say the least. And the second time I went over there, I actually did go on shore for a short amount of time with the Marines. And God bless them and all the other ones who do have to go on shore in the struggles that they are now going through. My time was very brief there, but to imagine being there for a year or even years and not finding some sort of reprieve or mental break from it all, my heart just goes out to every one of them.
Absolutely, mine too. And unfortunately, you see, I was with the Air Force many years ago before I became a radio announcer, but I have a deep respect. Of course, my father was in the Second World War. He was an explosives expert. And I have a deep respect, of course, for everybody in every service, including the police. And believe me, I have a very, very huge respect for you, sir. But I'm just struggling with something now. Nebraska is between, of course, Colorado and Iowa. There's no water around you.
Yeah, there's a lot of water in the state. There's no ocean, and I miss being around the ocean very much. But there is a lot of great lakes to go fishing at, and you can kind of escape that way.
Yeah,
like
but
Lake McConaughey and
you don't need a Navy for a lake. Where did you want to go to the Navy?
I know. Well, I went into the Navy because my grandpa was in the Navy in World War II, and I had an uncle that was in the Navy, and I also had an uncle that was in the Army. But at the time, I was between the Marines or the Navy, and I decided to go Navy, and I don't regret it ever since.
Fair enough. I can see that. Basically a toss of a coin. But it just flummoxed me. You know, I was looking at where Nebraska is, and I'm thinking, hold on, why would he want to go to the sea? You see, I'm a coaster. I come from around the sea and have seen it many, many times in my lifetime and been on it, worked with it, all sorts of things with the sea, even been a fisherman for a while. I just couldn't figure it out. I thought, you know, maybe the Air Force, maybe the Army, but there's no water around you. Yes, there's a few lakes. They don't need a Navy, though. I don't think they're under threat by anybody, to be honest. But, yeah, no, just to explain that to you, my friend, I apologise for that question, but I couldn't figure it out.
So, no worries. And to add more onto that confusion, I actually, when I was younger, had a deep fear of being in the water. I hated it, and I had a hard time learning how to swim. So go figure that I joined the Navy. So.
Well, I tell you,
my parents are still scratching their head about that one.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I can kind of understand that because my father was an Army guy. He was in the explosive. He was an explosives expert and went through Africa, would you believe, with a bayonet, doing landmines. You know, just finding landmines. And I'm crazy guy. He came back. Worked for the coal mines, blowing stuff up there, would you believe? And I was taught all of this as a young child. In fact, I started working with my dad at 5 down the pit, you know. And these were the days when we had carbine lamps on our head. I mean, a flame. And don't forget, you get methane gas down there. Yeah, no worries. Blow it up, yeah, whatever. But at the same time, you're in a confined space. Literally, if you look at it on a world scale, you're holding up the earth with toothpicks, right? And you're blowing stuff up in there. Yeah, it's all fun. You know what I mean? That's why. That's why I'm not a coal miner. I got to be honest with you. And I have lost a number of family members through rock falls and stuff like that. You know, so not for me. I went into, now my father being an Army guy, he expected me to go to the Army. No, I went into the Air Force. No way. I want my butt in the air. I really do. I don't want nothing blowing up unless it's coming from up. I've got a chance at least to be able to jump out.
My son was diehard going in the Marines, and all of a sudden, right when he turned 18, he went Army. So, you should go figure. All of a sudden, just changed your mind on you.
Well, I did it as a defiance, I got to be honest, because my father never really was happy with me, but he was happy that I was in some sort of service, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And unfortunately, and I am a returned serviceman, but I never did any active duty, I got to be honest with you. I spent 6 months in Fiji rolling an airport.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
When I joined, there was no war or nothing. I joined because of peacetime, and I wanted to go to college. It just so happened when I was in the middle of it, we got attacked. And then I stayed for another 5 more years.
Yeah, and believe me, sir, I really, really do respect that. I really do. Now, heaven ain't that far away. Tell me all about it.
Heaven ain't that far away. Another great song from Merrick Durant's, and I really like this one. He thought of me when he wrote it. It just really kind of helps bring to mind different things in life that bring you joy. And as you go through life, you come across a lot of struggles, and you find yourself really depressed. And it's those little key moments in life that really help bring you out of that depression. And that's what helped me out with my PTSD, is remembering times I went fishing with my grandpa, times I learned how to drive with my father or my mother, when I was involved with 4-H, which is working with livestock animals out here. It's all those little tiny key moments that I remember that helped me remember that life is really worth living, and I wanted my son to live through that. And so that's why Heaven Ain't Far Away really reminds me not only of my life, what I want to do for my kids, but it reminds me all the times that I had joy with my grandparents and my family growing up. And that's why I really like this song.
You know, we have to agree with you right there. We love the song ourselves. So right here at Galaxy 107 FM, Justin Kane joining us with Heaven Ain't That Far Away. Barbara, I'm sweating. Wow. And it's winter time. It's winter time. I don't want to wait until summer. It's too hot already. It really is.
Hey everyone. Hi Scott. Hi Gib. Hi
Scott.
Chi.
Which Scott is that?
Scott Noel. Hi
Scott
Sean.
Noel.
Hi Brent.
Oh,
David.
right. Well, it's good
Hi,
to have
Rory.
Scott. Nice to have you joining us, Scott. Hope the head's feeling a bit better. Barbara's suffering concussion as well, so you're not alone.
I've got a friend in Canada.
We got a friend in Canada that follows us quite closely, and he got attacked by a hawk and gave him concussion.
He's got 2 hawks.
Oh my goodness.
He's got a couple of hawks just around his house or something like that. I think they must have been having babies because that's the only time birds do that sort of stuff.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? And
We see it happen around our area too, where birds will just start charging if you get near their nest.
yeah, exactly. And my reply to that was, well, that's using your head amongst the birds.
Trying to get his turkey dinner with his head. That's always good.
Maybe there was a glow there somewhere.
Yeah, well, because he did Barbara, did he not have hair on?
Yeah. Well, at least, Scott, you are an ex-biker. Just throw on the leathers and a helmet and go shopping.
Unless he was so wearing like one of those fish heads, like foam head for fish.
Yeah. Go out with a foam finger. Oh, dear, dear. That reminds me, I'm expecting some foam fingers, aren't I? Big ones, blue ones. Yeah, hey, love those. Let's go back live. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 14 away from 1 o'clock. It is 17 degrees. Barbara, you're working right now. Tuesday, August 13th. Black Tuesday, would you call it, Barbara? No? No, okay. Gave it a shot anyway, what the heck. But we're joined today, of course, by our feature artist, Justin Kane, coming out of Nebraska, USA. And I was just saying to Justin about no water being around him, stuff like that. And, of course, we're talking about concussion and birds that do stuff like that. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Got a friend of ours who got hit by a hawk coming out of Canada. Bit of concussion there. Of course, Barbara got hit by a boot. And I'm not talking about something you wear, but part of a car snotted her in the head. Yeah, that's using your head, Barbara. I've got to be honest with you. Now, Justin, at the same time, summer's starting to get the better part of you over there now. How much stage time have you got left? Got many festivals to go?
I've got the Nebraska State Fair coming up here in about 3 weeks, where I'll be performing for a few days there and doing a Veterans Tribute Show on that Monday. It's going to be our Labor Day weekend in Nebraska. I also got a couple of just acoustic shows, very intimate shows throughout Lincoln, Nebraska, which is the capital of Nebraska. And I've also got a few that are getting lined up throughout the summer
throughout the rest of fall and into the wintertime starting to get lined up as well. So we're still going to keep on trucking along, and hopefully next summer we'll have a really good rocking schedule ahead of us.
I can see that. I really, really can, which basically I'm leading to, would you consider in your tour booklet that you're going to be putting together for the next 12 months or so, maybe considering coming down here, down under, and playing down at the Antipodes?
Well, I know if we can definitely afford it to get out there, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I'd be there tomorrow if we could. I'd love to see New Zealand, and I'd love to get out there and play. And I'd travel the world just to play for people and to spread our message, to look after our veterans and look after those all around the world. Not just the U.S. veterans, but anybody that's ever served or fought for their countries.
Exactly. Now, what I had in mind, literally, is maybe about 4 shows for the general public, one for the Navy. We'll do one in Auckland, a special one for the Navy in Auckland, and maybe one down in Burnham, down the South Island as well, for the special services down there that they have as well. So maybe 6 shows here in New Zealand, half a dozen in Australia, plus a few veteran shows and servicemen shows over there as well. Only because between New Zealand and Australia, you know that we have a bit of banter. It's much like the Americans and Canadians. We love each other, right? Yeah, exactly. And don't forget, folks, the Bledisloe Cup coming up. Australia won the first round. Not going to take it out, believe me. They haven't had it for 30-odd years. They're not going to get it this time either. They're just not that good. But at the same time, Justin, you can understand that. So we will get you to play over in Australia as well, basically because we like their money.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that too.
Me too, very much. I like to take money out of Australia, I really do. So maybe we could consider that. But having said that, Justin, at the same time, we here in New Zealand, we're a crazy bunch. We like to be able, we have some traditions, let's be honest. Are you up for something crazy?
Well, it depends. Are you going to make me eat those little grub worms?
Yeah, absolutely. You're very, you remember the hoo-hoo grub.
I remember that.
Did Barbara send you the video of that?
No, but I looked it up and I saw some other videos of it. I'm like, well, if I can keep it down, I'll give it a try.
Well,
I tried it.
You never know, we might have a mason jar beside you, but just to be able to wash something down with.
I guess I'll wash it. That'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, of course, I'm sure we went through the bungee jump and stuff like that. But we've added a couple of other things, including a Zorb. Now, have you ever heard of a Zorb?
I've never heard of that. What is that?
That's a big plastic ball. Well, we got to get you sourced. So you're going to need to do a few hoo-hoos, have a mason jar or 4. We'll throw you in this big ball and just chuck you down a hill.
I think I've seen that. I'm all for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Break the leg, well, it'll heal.
Well, nobody really has got hurt on the inside, but of course, we'll throw some people in front of you just to run away from you. It's like Skittles on the move, if you know what I mean.
It's basically a human hamster ball.
Yeah, exactly, and run people over. It's a lot of fun. And believe me, it's more fun being run over than being inside, because sometimes when you come out of that, well, there's a few extra juices that have gone into the mix.
Yeah. Good to know.
It really has. But at the same time, we could always set it alight, and I want to talk to you about Match I Want to Light. Tell me all about that, because for me, and believe me, I was very, very interested in this song. Can't fault it at all. Tell me all about it.
So everybody knows what it's like having that first real intimate relationship, and someone you just catches your eye, and you can't take your eye off of that person, and there's something really starting to develop there, an intensity that just grows, and you feel it with the touch of the hand, you feel it with the glance across the bar, or even just on the beach, and you go out on that first date, you're walking hand in hand, and you're talking about each other, and just there's such a huge intensity, and that intensity turns into that fire that we call love, and that very intimate bond between people. And that's where Match I Want to Like is very much like that. It talks about that love that you have for someone that's really going there, and you're like, man, I am crazy about this girl. I want to like that match. I want this fire to burn bright. And that's what this song's all about.
You know, I fully understand that. I loved it when I heard it. In fact, I was listening to it a number of times because there was just something about it that I had to go back and have another listen to. So, right here at Galaxy 107 FM is Justin Kane. Match, I Want to Lie. It is 20 degrees, you know, it's ridiculous. It's going from what, 15 to 20?
Yes, ridiculous.
Nuts.
You've got someone out there turning the heat up and down.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, you know, this is middle of winter in Kiwi land.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kiwi land, bro, a couple of Australians and a Canadian went to McDonald's here in New Zealand in Whakatane, a city just down the road from us, and they went for breakfast. And the girl says to the Australians, "Do you want a Kiwi breakfast?" And they went, yeah, no worries. And then she says to the Canadian, "Do you want a Kiwi breakfast?" And he goes, "Isn't it illegal to eat Kiwi in New Zealand?" And the Australian says, "Don't worry, just a little one."
As everyone knows,
Oh, you
Kiwi
guys
is a
love picking
bird.
on your Canadian brothers. We like picking on them too. I actually got to serve on a ship with Canadians for about a week as a guest sailor on their ship. It's kind of like almost like a foreign exchange.
Yeah.
But it was very different to me because in the U.S. we're not allowed to drink anything on the ship. Can't have any alcohol on the ships. But in Canada, they actually allow alcohol, a couple of drinks per night.
Nice.
So
I like the
I
Kiwi.
had a lot of fun with
Navy.
that.
Yeah, well, it's like us
Kiwi
Kiwis,
Navy,
we just
yeah.
drink all the time, who cares?
Oh yeah.
as long as we're doing our thing, you know, hey, you'll be right.
Well, you know who's been in the Navy by how they can drink.
Exactly.
I've got a
that comes
husband
from
like
your
that.
husband too, doesn't it? Yeah. He was a former Navy man.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go back to the desk. We're so relaxed, Kiwis, though, aren't we?
We are.
You know, I just read something in the news that is absolutely disturbing. University bans beef from campus to combat climate change. How's not eating beef going to combat climate change? Really, think about it. And just as disturbing, Katy Perry, accused of sexual assault by teenage Dream co-star. Really, Katy? Oh no, that's really, really sad because I'm a big fan of Katie's, I've got to be honest with you. It is Tuesday, August 13th, 3 minutes away from 1 o'clock, 21 degrees, ridiculous. We're in the middle of winter. Why 21 degrees? This is unreal. And we're talking live with Justin Kane, and very humbled to be able to be joined by such a professional singer and such a great guy as well. Now, Justin, at the same time, now that we're talking about getting you down here to New Zealand, I'm sure we talked about going to Hobbitville where Lord of the Rings and everything like that was, just a wee way away from us. But at the same time, we were discussing the Zorb. We have a place called Hell's Gate. Now, this is like stepping back into the prehistoric era, much like Yellowstone is, to be very honest, all the bubbly stuff with the geysers, everything like that. And we can teach you the Maori traditional way of cooking food, with all of those hot waters and stuff like that. Absolutely entertaining. And I'm sure you'd be a big part of that.
I'm a huge fan of that. That'd be amazing. I love history and I love learning about cultures, so that'd be amazing to be a part of that.
Yeah, believe me, and it is less than an hour away from where we are right here. And I'm a big supporter of taking all of our people from overseas to do cultural stuff like that. I really, really am. You'll absolutely love it. At the same time, one of the local schools here, we'll take you to one of the local schools here, Wananga. It is called a Wananga, Te Wananga. And I'm not going to finish the rest of it because I get my tongue tied. I'm not as proficient at te reo as I should be. And introduce you to some of the local and indigenous folks around where we are right here, right now. And I'm sure you'll absolutely have a ball. You really, really will. At the same time, I'm pretty sure we spoke about getting you on board a boat on the Hauraki Gulf and having a meal and taking in the meals, having a few wines, stuff like that. You and your good wife as well. But right now, of course, the containers and stuff floating around out there after the big winds and stuff. So we might wait until the locals clean that up. What do you feel?
Yeah, definitely got to clean that up. With my time in the Navy, I've definitely seen some interesting things with ships and storms, and being an eye of a hurricane. So seeing things floating around, I want to give it a little chance for things to get back to normal.
Yeah, exactly. And believe me, it wasn't so long ago that we had an incident where there was oil spilled everywhere. Of course, I'm talking about the Rena. That was a little while ago as well. And we've brought that back to pristine again because here in New Zealand, we're a clean green kind of country. Anything that gets spilled, whatever, we've really got to get on top of it straight away and not let the oil slicks and all that sort of garbage go around the world, like the multitudes of plastic that is in our waters, disturbing our wildlife in our waters. You know, we love to be able to protect that, including our whales, dolphins and everything like that, the wildlife of the oceans. We love to be able to keep everything as it should be. At the same time, I've got to ask you, my friend, do you like to go fishing? Do you do a bit of hunting?
I do hunting and fishing. This year is the first year I've actually had chance to go do a lot of fishing with my brother-in-law, and so we had a lot of fun with that. And then looking at hunting again this year, and we are very much management hunting. We don't just shoot anything that comes out in front of us. If something is lame or hurt, we'll try to thin the hurt out of that. If something is causing other animals to be injured or there's too much aggression, we'll watch for that. Or if it's a very old, mature deer, we'll harvest that. But we kind of manage what we do on our hunting and don't just go out there and shoot.
I absolutely brilliant. I love that idea. I really, really do. Here we have a thing called the Big Three, where you can go out and do a day's fishing, catch the biggest fish. You can then the next day go after a deer, and the day after go after a boar, and it all culminates to see who gets the best, biggest, what, and stuff like that. A lot of fun, but unfortunately for me,
Sounds like fun.
I was brought up in the country as a kid, and very, very handy with a rifle, I've got to admit. But in my older ages, I won't shoot anything with the breeds anymore, if you know what I mean. So
yeah.
I don't
make sure you have a clean kill.
Exactly. And then only if I really, really, really have to will I do something like that. But I don't mind taking the dogs out into the bush and showing them what it's all about as well with a couple of mates of mine. So yeah, we have a bit of fun, but me personally, I'm there for the enjoyment of it, not to be able to shoot anything.
Oh yeah. My dad still goes out and hunts with his buddies all the time, and most of them don't even shoot. They're just there for a few drinks of some Crown or some Jack, and then they just tell all the stories that you could possibly hear in one lifetime, and it's just more about the camaraderie more than it is actually the actual hunt.
Absolutely, and can relate to that, because that's a bit of me as well. I got to be honest with you. Don't mind spending some time out in the scrub, having a good time with my mates. I've got to be honest with you there. They said he wasn't hurt. Now tell me about this, because when I was listening to this in the car, literally, I had somebody behind me that eventually decided to pull me over and say, "What are you doing driving like that?" So tell me what caused me to be pulled over by a pair of, flashing lights.
I'm sure you probably were a little taken, probably a little weepy-eyed with this one. They said he wasn't hurt. It's kind of my own anthem as well because I was in a very dark place and was drinking a lot and had very suicidal thoughts. And I found help through a chaplain. I found out a way to talk about it and found my way back to life, back home through my faith in God. And the problem is today we still lose too many, not only just veterans, but firefighters, policemen, EMTs, paramedics, anybody that sees anything truly traumatic, but they don't go get the help that they need or they don't know how to. And so I'm hoping that this song acts as a springboard for people to start looking out for each other and finding help for one another. And for those stubborn old vets who say, I'm a man and I can handle it, for finally saying, it's like, you know what? I need to talk about it. Maybe I can start having a good life again. And I really hope that this song will help change that number. We say 22 veterans a year in the U.S. I'm hoping that changes that number from 22 to 0. And just keep praying and hoping every day. And I'm hoping this song will help light that way.
You know, I fully understand that, and believe me, yes, it was a reaction when I was listening to the song. So right here at Galaxy right now is the man himself, Justin Kane. They said he wasn't hurt. Are you okay there, my friend?
What's that?
Are you okay there?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Nice, nice. Because now we're coming to the pinnacle of the show. Our flag is for the fallen. So we're going to have a chat about that. At the same time, my friend, I've really got to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening to join us here.
Well, I'm truly honored you guys have me on your show. It really means a lot to me. And, you know, I'll take any time out of the evening or the day as long as I can make sure I can pay my bills still.
Exactly. And I hope your day looks up tomorrow better than it was today. It sounds like it was quite a difficult one.
It was. I went out for what was supposed to be a small problem, and because of the storms, it destroyed a lot of what we call access points, basically, throughout this entire feed yard. And what should have been a half hour took me about 6 hours of work to do.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
And it was about 98 degrees Fahrenheit our temp, so nice hot sweaty humidity day.
Absolutely, yeah. Did you do the trifecta? Were you in a small confined space as well?
One time I was. I actually had to crawl up a 200-foot mill and these little tiny closed-in ladders.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not a fan of fights. I don't really care for them. So.
Oh, okay. You're like Barbara. Gets a little vertigo from time to time. Barbara does. Yeah.
I do, but we get a harness to help keep me safe, so that's always good.
Yeah, it's a bit hard when she's in 6-inch heels and starts getting the wobblies on. We can't put a harness on her for that one. Sorry, Barbara. Sorry.
Is it vertigo or was it what she was drinking? That's the question.
No, Barbara doesn't drink.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, she's.
What is vertigo?
She is totally teetotaler. Actually, you do you do the soft drinks, the sugar-free stuffs. Yeah. But yeah, no, Barbara doesn't drink. But I tell you what, when you do come here, my bro, we must make a point of getting Barbara tattooed. What do you reckon?
I think we should give it a shot.
Yeah.
No, I'm waiting for Aaron.
Do the same for my wife, because my wife hardly ever drinks.
Okay.
I have a little wine here and there.
Let's go back to the desk.
But he's forever changed. He's got a silver side, and thanks for his hard work. They call it a miracle. They call it a miracle.
right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. 8 after 1 o'clock. It is 17 degrees downtown. Heading, well, I reckon for a high of one more degree, to be very honest. Don't forget, folks, Celsius here in New Zealand, not Fahrenheit. It is Tuesday, August 13th. Just in case you guys in the States think it's rather cold. Yeah, no, Celsius. Anyway, up to 75 boats damaged in destructive Auckland waterfront storm through the night. That's a bit of damage. That really is a bit of damage. And suspected waterspout was the cause of millions of dollars worth of this damage. Believe me, the insurance companies are going to absolutely hate that. They really, really are. Now joined live, coming out of Nebraska, is of course our good friend Justin Kane. And Justin, I got to ask you, with all this new music, are you pressing it onto a CD?
Yes, right now we have a 6-song EPK, or EP CD, so we can get all 6 of these songs we're hearing today on an actual CD. We'll be launching the remaining songs, because we got 3 out there now to purchase, Cargo Crazy, America Strong, and the next one, Our Flag is for the Fallen. But here, before Labor Day weekend for the States, which is 1st of September, we'll be launching the final 3, which will be Heaven Ain't That Far Away, Match I Want to Light, and They Said He Wasn't Hurt, which will be online to order. But right now, to get all 6 of them, the only way to do it is actually get a copy of the physical CD.
Well, I got to ask you, how would you like to, and I know you've sent us some stuff in the past. I should be, by rights, wearing your JK shirt, you know, Car Girl Crazy, and I actually have found it. It was just that I was wearing it the other day and it went into the wash. The good wife picked it up and put it in the wash, but I wanted to wear your hat, the one that you're wearing right now. You gave us one of those as well, and I wanted to wear that, but during the shift from the last studio over to this undisclosed place, would we call it? Yeah, a secret laboratory, in case anybody's really, really interested. I've misplaced it somewhere. I will find it, and it will be a part of the honour hat behind us. Believe me, it really, really will. I've been actually quite kicking myself because I couldn't find it, but it's safe. I know that, because if I had found it, well, I'd be wearing it. Now, at the same time, my friend, how would you like to send us the completed EP when you get some spare copies, and we can do a competition to give some stuff away? How would you feel about that?
Well, we'll see when we can get backed up. I know we're going to be doing a whole another merchandise push here again and get more items and different items. And so when we get closer to that, we'll definitely have some extras to be able to start sending your way again and get another package for you guys with probably 10 to 15 or 20 CDs in there, so you can guys be able to give out.
Nice, because believe me, if you throw a few extras in, now 2 weekends ago, we did a live show at a place called World's End, and we're promoting a singer called Billy Lord coming out of America as well, and I was very surprised at the listeners that we have, all in one place at one time for that particular region, if you know what I mean. All knew Billy Lord's song and were singing along. They really, really were singing along to songs like Netflix and Chill, and we were releasing a brand spanking new song called Rise. So in the meantime, Billy sent us a copious amount of t-shirts and koozies, bits and pieces like that, and we gave them a lot away at this particular show. And I surprisingly have been on Facebook and seen a lot of these people wearing them in different places, different parts of the Bay of Plenty that we're coming from now. So great promotion for that. So if you want to keep that in the back of your mind, send us a little overkill sometimes, and we'd be honoured to do a live show and give away some stuff there.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of what we're hoping to be able to do here very soon, is to get the things like koozies and more dog tags that we had made up, and just get a whole bunch of stockpile stuff like that, and then be able to send it out for promotional purposes like that throughout the world, not just the U.S., but like New Zealand and Australia and Europe, and a lot of people have been asking for stuff like that. So unfortunately, I have to work with that 9-to-5 job to pay for all that. So hopefully one day we'll get there.
Oh, believe me, you're going to be rich in no time with the amount of work that you're doing at the moment, and the quality of your sound, and you're very accomplished on stage. I know this. believe me, it's not going to be too long before you're a superstar. I got to be honest with you. At the same time, I can see you picking up awards left, right, and centre. I really, really can, and especially for a dedicated song like "Our Flag is for the Fallen." Now, I see you wearing the T-shirt. Tell me all about the song and what it means, not only to yourself but to America.
Well, this is one that I'm very proud of because it's the one that I actually took a big part in writing it. And Eric Durance and my manager went out and sat with me, and we kind of took a lot of the extra stuff out and came up with this song for it. And in every country, you have your flag, and you're proud of what that flag stands for, the history, the culture that comes behind it. And no matter what country you're in, people fight for your flag. They fight for your freedom. They fight for your rights that you have. I mean, everybody thinks, well, the USA, we have all the freedom and rights. We're not the only country that does it. Everybody, it's all over the world. But everyone sacrifices a life or sacrifices a loved one for what those flags stand for. Now, I don't know about New Zealanders or Australians or anybody else think, but whenever I see the American flag get stepped on, I am angry, I'm irate. But I also got to remember that not a lot of people are actually educated on the history of the flag. They don't understand what that means. They have that right here in the U.S. to be able to burn the flag, to step on it. It's their right to do so. We fought for it. I'm not going to take the right away from it. I don't like it. However, I wish instead of the anger that we see people fighting constantly about who's right, who's wrong, who's right, who's wrong. They don't stop and take a moment. It's like they didn't have something like I did. People don't have a grandfather who fought in World War II and took the time and told me about his time in service, about the brothers and sisters he lost in that time of service. And so I'm hoping this is more of an educational thing where it reminds people that veterans, police officers, firefighters, nurses, medics, all sacrifice so much to protect our country. And that flag is what that represents, their sacrifice. It doesn't mean political power. Yes, we're going to have political power, and they fight, they run our country, but it's not what that flag means. And that's kind of why the 13 stars around my hat is it takes us back to the time that we all had a faith and belief of coming together and all had a common goal, no matter who we were or where we were from. We came together to be united. And that's what that flag means to me. And so I'm hoping this will educate people that our flag is not for political persecution. Our flag is for the fallen that have given their lives for us to be able to enjoy the freedoms we have.
Well, you know, I absolutely admire that. I really do. As you can see behind me, I have Old Glory hanging right there. Absolutely, it's worth that. Right next to our country's flag. And, of course, we've got a Canadian one there, too, because we do respect both sides of the border. I got to be honest with you, good music comes from both sides. You know what I mean? So we absolutely love Old Glory. Got to let you know, though, I'm an American by birth. I was born in Phoenix, and I was adopted here in New Zealand. So, but I've been here pretty much all my life. I have been back to the States a number of times around the world, working with bands as an engineer, and worked with some very, very famous bands over the years. So I've been back to America, but I am a Kiwi. I have a Kiwi driver's license. Apparently that's all you need these days to be called a Kiwi. So I very much respect the image of our country as well as everybody else's flag as well. You know, it stands for everything for that country. It really does. Pride and prejudice put aside. Let's have a good American flag to honour for the Americans, and this one's a beauty, it really is. So our flag is for the fallen right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Here is Justin Kane, and believe me, I support it 100%. The sweat is falling off me, brother. Wow. Hey, thank you, my friend, for sitting in for such a long interview.
I'm glad to be a part of this. I mean, having a lot of fun with this. You guys are just awesome. I hope one day we'll be able to see you in person and just see if we can make some more memories.
Well, absolutely. I'll tell you what, if we do get you into the country, if I don't get you arrested in the first 24 hours, I'm not doing my job right.
As long as you get me out in a few more hours to go to the next show, we'll be fine.
Absolutely, we'll do that. We've got damn good lawyers, I gotta be honest with you, we do. Yeah, we really do too, don't we?
Yeah, you're trouble.
I'm trouble.
Yeah,
I was born trouble.
yeah. I was born
absolutely.
bad.
You were born bad.
It is my actual initials.
It is an initial. It's true, Justin. Barbara's initials is BAD, would you believe? So she's bad by nature too.
But with all her goats and cattle I'm seeing, they're probably just being a little cautious of her.
Oh, well, you know, you don't have to be nuts to work here, but she certainly helps.
I went and got some yesterday. Some sheep nuts for
Some
my
sheep
babies.
nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this on Facebook? The production manager was saying that people are going around taking photos or something of dipping their testicles in different objects in public.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What is up with that?
They went into a craft shop and dipped it in the sparkly thing.
Yeah, they're
And the glitter.
In
And the
glitter,
glitter.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuts.
It was sparkly nuts.
Yes. That's crazy.
I don't know you guys.
They were doing it in ice cream and all sorts of nuts. That's crazy, it really, really is.
Looking ice cream.
What would happen if interest rates fell to zero or negative? That would be interesting.
Well,
wouldn't
I'd break my mortgage and go with the zero.
it? Yeah, I would too, absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course the Australians who own the banks and everything in New Zealand would hate that.
Oh, well.
It's a little retort from, I'm
the
sure.
way
Yeah.
everyone's breaking
Maybe I
and
shouldn't
they go,
mention
oh
that.
no, that was a mistake.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't mention that. Anyway, let's go back live.
Justin.
Poor Justin's sitting there going, what are these Kiwis talking about?
Australians.
Every time they sing that anthem again, you can take me, I'm gonna stay. Thanks for the morning.
After 1 o'clock, it is 15 degrees, 14.5, so yeah, we'll call it 15, it feels warmer that way. Tuesday, August 13th, and of course, we're talking to Justin Kane, and featuring the Our Flag is for the Fallen song. Now, Justin, at the same time, I'm going to ask you, getting you down here in New Zealand, we may get into a little bit of trouble from time to time, and I guarantee you that we certainly have good lawyers, all that sort of stuff. But Barbara is very, very fond of shopping. If you bring in the wife, do you think the wife and Barbara would get on very well?
My wife is not a huge shopper, but she loves checking out new stuff. She loves seeing what's out there in the world. So I think they get along pretty well. She's my angel. I call her my dream catcher because all the stuff I've experienced in life, she takes all that bad stuff and just makes it go away. So I haven't seen anybody yet that she hasn't been able to get along with.
Nice, absolutely nice. Well, you know, maybe she might not like me after you leave New Zealand, but we're certainly going to have fun while we're in New Zealand, if you know what I mean. At the same time, we must wrap this up here at the moment, my friend. I really want to thank you so much for coming online and talking to us. Will you come back again, and can we do this again with new music?
Oh yeah, for sure. We got some new, some songs that I have written in the past that we're going to finally sit down. Ones that are even more near and dear, talk about my own stories and stuff I've been through. That we're going to try to get to Nashville and put their stamp on it a little bit. And I'd be love, and be honored to come on your show again.
You know, it would be an absolute pleasure to be able to catch up with you. I hope it's not going to be as long as the last time, to be quite honest. It's been a little while between.
Life kind of got in the way with a new job and moving and all that other stuff. Life got crazy this year, but hopefully we're going to start settling in and start focusing more on the music and getting that name out there and getting the message out.
Absolutely, and I am so honoured that you are allowing us to be a part of the machine called Justin Kane and getting the promotions out there for you. And we won't don't go away just yet because we've got a couple of other things we're going to do. But for everybody that's watching on Facebook right now, thank you for joining us today. And believe me, it's been an honour bringing you this artist called Justin Kane coming out of Nebraska. Believe me, check out his music. You can't go wrong. Go and buy something from his shop as well. But right now, you're right here at Galaxy. Good afternoon.
Galaxy 107 FM.